Hello and welcome to the Know Your Tax Quiz. It's the week before the grand finale. Two schools that were in the final last season make another appearance in the final. The defending champions, Zambia University, up against the Corporate University, again making up the final. And as far as this season is concerned, for CBU, they've been in the final for the third time. So they'll be hoping to make history by bagging the title this time around. But the defending champions will do whatever they can to ensure that they hold on to this title and keep the hope alive, and as far as the capital city is concerned, of keeping the title in Lusaka. But we're not in Lusaka today. We're driving from Lusaka to the tourist capital, Livingstone, because ZRA has accorded the two schools that have qualified to the final a special treat by giving them a trip to Livingstone. There they will be accorded another opportunity to enjoy and appreciate the operations of the Zambia Revenue Authority. I can tell you for a fact the two schools are eager to make this trip. They are eager to benefit from qualifying to the final of the Know Your Tax Quiz. So stay with me as I narrate to you everything else that will happen en route to Livingstone and back to Lusaka. The two schools are right now still trying to hone their skills in readiness for the grand finale come next week. But in the meantime, a special treat given to them by the Zambia Revenue Authority, because the two schools have qualified to the final of this year's Know Your Tax Quiz. A deja vu experience is what we shall see in terms of the grand finale, because the two schools were also in the final last season. The biggest question is, are we going to have a new winner of the coveted Know Your Tax Quiz?
Education is the cornerstone of any nation's development. And with the introduction of free education in Zambia, the education sector is seeing significant improvements thanks to the effective utilization of tax revenues. The Zambia Revenue Authority plays a crucial role in this process. By effectively collecting taxes, ZRA ensures that the government has the necessary funds to support and expand the education sector. Thanks to the ZRA's increased efforts, many new schools are being built across Zambia. These new facilities provide a better learning environment for students, helping them reach their full potential. Tax revenues also ensure that schools are equipped with the necessary materials. From textbooks to laboratory equipment, these resources are essential for comprehensive education. A portion of the tax funds also goes towards training and paying our dedicated teachers. Investing in teachers means investing in the future of our children. By supporting education through tax revenues, we are building a brighter future for Zambia. Together, we can create a society where every child has the opportunity to succeed. Zambia Revenue Authority. My tax, your tax, our destiny.
So, my name is Jack Chayawala. I'm from CBU. Talking about the experience, I think I've learned quite a lot than I expected. In terms of tax, I've gotten so exposed, like the types of tax that I've gotten to be aware of, and a lot of things that have been happening, especially at the borders, I got to learn about it. And there's a delay, I think the way they function and how they disseminate information to the public, I got to learn about that. So I think it's a good experience so far.
What's your fondest memory of this particular season?
Overall, participating in this, I think it's in itself it's a privilege. Right. Yeah, I'll remember that.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Are you winning?
Well, we'll definitely see how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Well, the brother says he is going to see. He's keeping his fingers crossed, and he's not willing to commit whether his school is going to win or not. Let's hear from the other gentleman. How are you doing, man?
I'm alright, thank you. How are you doing, sir?
Good. What's your name?
My name is Msonda Cowboy. I'm actually doing economics and Bachelor of Science in Economics in CBU.
All right. What's been your most interesting highlight of this season?
The season has really been a good season, I must say. We really quite had to learn a lot of things. So much experience to talk about. We've learned things that we never thought we could. Yeah. Looking at the participation of people, the information that people had to bring out, the The competition has actually been so good, I must say that.
What's that one thing that you're going to take away from this season? Once the season is done, what's that one thing that is going to remain with you for life?
First and foremost is an opportunity that was actually accorded to me personally to be part of this initiative and program. And secondly, it is something that I am, kind of an opportunity to be able to teach to the public, not just to my colleagues on campus, but to people that I'm actually coming from back home.
All right.
Yes.
What kind of a final are you looking forward to?
Really interesting final. From what I've actually observed, both teams have really done their best in terms of preparations, and I'm really hopeful, and I'm expecting a great match.
All right. Who's going to win, you think?
Like I said, both teams have really done their part,
All right.
so I think let the best team win. Actually, that's the only thing that I would say. Yeah.
Well, that's very smart of you. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
Well, when you've got two great schools in the final, you dare not commit to who's going to emerge victorious. So the smart thing to say is, may the best team win. How are you doing, sir?
Doing well, thank you. And how are you, sir?
Good, thank you. Let's begin by you, telling us who you are and which school you're from.
Okay, my name is Charles Mapala. From the Gopa Belt University. I'm studying banking and finance. I'm in my final year.
Yeah, sure.
I'm down from Lusaka. I come from Lusaka.
Great. What's been the most interesting moment for you on the quiz this season?
I feel gathering all that knowledge in a short period of time. It's different from the classwork. We only had a few time to prepare. Actually, it was just months. And then looking at ZRA, we've gone into detail, like we've looked at most of their divisions. And I've appreciated the domestic taxes division and the customs division. So gathering that massive knowledge in a short period of time has really been challenging, but interesting, really.
In your own view, who do you think is going to win in this contest as far as the final is concerned?
That's a tricky one. Yeah. Because it's a 50-50, I can say, because both teams are really there, vested in knowledge, and then the programs they're doing, it's like accountancy. So it's a little bit tough one. It will be an interesting final. Right. I can say that it will be interesting. Sure.
Interesting. CBU has been in all the three finals. If it were football, so the camera guy is an Arsenal fan. If it were a football team, we're going to say it's Arsenal, who almost. Is that the case, you think, for CBU in this final, you think?
I wouldn't wish it to be that case. Right. There's that saying which goes around, third time is a charm. So I hope so.
All right.
Yeah,
excellent.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Well, still, none of these students are committing to who they think is going to emerge victorious. It's going to be a tight contest, the grand finale. Apologies for the movement of the camera. We are actually in transit to Livingston, so please bear with us when you see some very, very shaky shots. How are you doing, sir?
Doing very good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Tell us your name and the school you're coming from.
My name is Daniel Kukenga. Right. I'm coming from Zikas.
All right.
Yes.
What's been your highlights? You're taking part for the first time. Of course, the school is you're the defending champions, but you're taking part for the very first time. What's been your experience like?
My experience has been a great experience, a thrilling experience. It's a first-time experience in the sense that it's my first time participating in such a contest, as well as it's the first time to have such a reward of coming to the southern part of Zambia, which is my first time, and so I would say it's a thrilling experience of first times.
All right. Also, it's the first time going to Livingston. So what are you looking forward to experience in Livingston?
I'm looking forward to knowing more about the tourism that's very much talked about, having a great experience and understanding that taxes do change lives and they can create very great experiences just as I'm a part of it.
All right.
Yes.
I'm talking about the tourism sector. It's a sector that obviously feeds from the taxes that we pay. In as far as that is concerned, what have you learned when it comes to taxes and the tourism sector?
When it comes to taxes and the tourism sector, what I've learned is that entities that are in the tourism industry generate income, and that income that is specific coming from tourism is charged both income tax and also tourism levy.
Yeah.
And so that feeds into the revenue for the country.
All right.
Yes.
So you have CBU. This is the third time they're in the final. This is the second time you guys are in the final. But what's unique about you, what's different between the two schools, that you've been in the final the second time, but you've won it once. They're getting into the final for the third time, yet to win the title. They are more hungry than you are, I want to believe. Are you bothered by that narrative?
I wouldn't say they are more hungry.
All right.
You're
just as hungry.
We're just as hungry.
All right.
And so it will be proven in the final who was more hungry.
All right.
Yes, by preparation and whichever team had prepared more.
All right.
Yes.
So this is like a Lusaka versus Copper Belt contest. So are you saying the title is remaining in Lusaka?
You would quote me in the sense that I'm learning in Lusaka, but home is on the Copper Belt.
Yeah.
So I
Divided
really
loyalty.
wouldn't. Yeah.
All right.
Divided loyalty.
So what are you saying? Are you defending the title as Zikas?
Yeah. So do my best to defend the title as Zikas.
All right.
Do my extreme best.
Excellent. All the best, man. So yeah, at least there's some commitment coming to the fore. It's getting chilly, I want to believe. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah. Tell us your name and which school you're coming from, and also what's been your highlight in as far as this season is concerned.
My name is Dorcas Helemendi and I'm coming from CBU.
All right.
Yeah. I think my highlights so far was the semi-final that we had. That was my favorite moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you describe the final? I mean the semi-final rather. Beg your pardon. Yeah.
The semi-final was pretty interesting. I really enjoyed that one.
All right.
Yeah.
What was the feeling like? When you finally emerged victorious and managed to book yourself as CBU space in the final?
Well, it's definitely a good feeling because now we are where the previous team was, and hopefully we can change the narrative. But of course, it's a game of chance. It's still 50-50,
Yeah.
but we hope to do our best.
All right. In your own words, how would you describe your opponent in the final?
They're good enough.
All right.
Good enough, yeah.
Listen, I know that this is a question that many CBU students don't want to confront, but this is the third time you're going into this final, all right? And obviously your lecturers, beg your pardon, your schoolmates expect you to win this time around. How much pressure are you carrying into the final?
There's definitely a lot of pressure, but like we said, it's a game of chance. It may happen that we change the narrative, or unfortunately, still remain
All right.
at second place. But fingers crossed,
All right.
we'll hope for the best, yeah.
Are you winning it?
Hopefully.
All right, excellent. Madam, how are you?
Fine, thank you. And how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Tell us your name and which school you're coming from.
My name is Loveness Chuije, coming from the Copper Belt University.
All right. What have you learned in this season?
I've learned quite a lot about ZRA. I just knew that they collect tax, but now I have more experience of what ZRA do and what they are actually doing.
Who's winning the contest?
The quiz is more like the game of chances. Anyone can win.
All right. So you're not putting your money anywhere? All right, not willing to commit as well. Let's move on and continue to engage the participants of the Know Your Tax quiz. I need to check on my camera guy. Are you okay? Excellent. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, yes, I'm fine, thank you.
All right. You don't look bothered that you're a week away from the final.
I'm just enjoying the trip.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell us your name and which school you're coming from.
My name is Joshua Kapijimpanga and I'm coming from Zikas University.
All right. Tell me something. Years from now, when you tell the story that you were part of this season, what would the story be like?
I think I would tell them how grateful I am to this institution for the exposure that it's given me. It's a platform to learn more about our tax system, which is a major driver for our economy. It's really going to help us progress as a country. And I've really learned a lot thanks to this competition.
All right.
So,
You're in the final again. You know, those who were before you did put up quite a fight. Does that add pressure on you, or I mean, you're the defending champion, so you just think, look, we've won the title before. It's all about us enjoying the ride as far as the contest is concerned.
I wouldn't say we've had much pressure, considering that we're defending our title. I'd say the previous team has really played their part in giving us as much encouragement and as much information concerning the quiz, and they've made us feel comfortable. They haven't really made it seem like they're pressuring us. They haven't pressured us at all.
Right. So what have they told you? Have they told you to say, listen, you must defend the title at all costs? What are they telling you?
No, it's our time. You know, like it's our quiz. Their time has passed. All they want us to do is just have fun and do our best.
All right.
Yeah, so it's not like they're trying to push their ambitions onto us.
All right.
They've made us feel that this quiz was our own per se. So we're just here to have fun, as I said.
Would you describe this ride, or in terms of the contest, would you describe this season as very easy for you?
No, it hasn't been easy.
All right.
We've really put in a lot of hard work into this, and we've come up against very good opponents. And again, we're going to meet a very capable school, so it really hasn't been easy.
I will use again. Are you beating CBU again in the final?
I think it all comes down to preparation and teamwork, so that's all I have to say.
Are you beating CBU again?
Hopefully we'll be the better prepared team.
All right. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you?
All right, tell us your name and which school you're coming from.
Nancy Nakazwe from Zikas.
Listen, let me start with the last question asked your colleague here. Are you beating CBU again?
I'll second his opinion. We hope we're the better prepared school, and that's all we can hope for.
All right. But how was the season? I mean, you put up quite some very good performance. Very impressive indeed. How would you describe the kind of opponents you met?
The opponents we met were very diverse, each very different with their own skill sets and styles, and I think they taught us more about our dynamic together, and that helped us work really well.
Right.
Considering.
What kind of contests do you expect to have in relation to the opponents you're facing in the final?
I expect a battle, a very bloody one,
right.
A very, very high stakes. I expect to be bested almost, but also best them again. I expect a fight that will really, really be good.
All right. How would you describe your opponents?
Our opponents, they're very bold, they're very brazen. I think I walked into them recording once very amazing. I looked at them and I said, wow, if we ever go against that, you need to bring our A game, because they're very, very, very capable.
Which school would you have loved to have in the final other than CBU?
Other than CBU? No other school really.
Okay.
I wanted to meet CBU in the final. I hoped, actually, I prayed that we would find them in the finals.
Excellent. All the best.
Thank you so much.
All right, so apparently somebody was looking forward to meeting CBU in the final. There's a legend here. She is the reason why Zikas, she and the other guys from Zikas who were in the season last season, she's one of the reasons why the Zikas can boast of being the defending champions. You're putting pressure, I'm told, on your team this season.
No, we're not putting any pressure on them.
All right.
We're not putting any pressure on them. This is their season, and so we don't want them to be compared to us, because that is going to put pressure on them and it can affect their performance. So we just want them to enjoy themselves like we did.
All right. I don't mean to pit you against them, but I had whispers saying, this team is a notch higher than the team from Zikas last season. Do you agree?
1,000%.
All right.
1,000%. This year's team has really brought the most. They have done so much better than we did, and I'm so proud of them. they've come very far. They've put in a lot of hard work, and I just couldn't be prouder.
Yeah. What makes them different from you? What do you think takes them to that pedestal, you think?
I think they're just very committed to what they're doing. They're very committed to learning about ZRA and everything that we stand for as an institution, and it's showing in their work and everything they're doing for the team. So they're just a very dedicated group of people, and we love them very much.
All right. Excellent. Who do you think is winning? I'm not sure if I'm going to get the honest answer from you, but I'll attempt nonetheless. who do you think is winning in the final?
I think we should wait and see. Let's stay tuned for the final to see who will win.
You can tell that both schools have got tremendous respect for each other, and you just tend to wonder who's going to emerge victorious at the end of the day. But I can tell you for a fact that this trip will be exciting. The two sets of students looking forward to what the tourist capital has to offer in terms of information, but also experiencing the massive, mind-blowing, jaw-dropping, mind-boggling the mighty Victoria Falls, and of course the rest of the operations of the authority there. So the trip is still on. Hope you're also enjoying this ride, because yes, it's a trip to the two schools that have made it to the final, but I think it's a special treat for you as well, as you appreciate what the Zambia Revenue Authority has to offer in terms of its operations, and of course constantly reminding us to pay our taxes, because that's the only way you and I can build our beloved country.
Taxes are the lifeblood of national development, and the Zambia Revenue Authority ensures that taxes are collected efficiently and transparently. ZRA is responsible for collecting all the various types of taxes in Zambia, and these taxes fund essential public services that drive our nation's growth and development. From building schools and hospitals to improving roads and infrastructure, tax revenues ensure that Zambians have access to vital services. The ZRA also educates taxpayers, making it easier for them to comply with tax laws through initiatives like e-filing and online payment platforms. By effectively collecting taxes, the ZRA helps build a stronger, more prosperous Zambia, benefiting every citizen. The Zambia Revenue Authority. My tax, your tax, our destiny.
My name's Matthew Kumwenda, and we shall be together on this trip to Livingstone, and we shall be sharing more information on what ZRA does, and also we expect you to share with us your expectations, experiences, what you have learned so far about ZRA. So it's not going to be a one-man show. We shall be interacting with every one of us on this bus. Before we go any further into our discussions, and so we'll be asking each one of us to come forward, give us your names, what you are studying, your expectations, your experiences, and what you hope to contribute to this nation in as far as tax collection, tax payment is concerned. What do we think tax is? I know you guys, you like phones, so I see a lot of people now checking on the phones what it says. This is just for understanding. Don't worry. And at this level, you are not yet in school, so all the submissions are correct. They're accepted, yeah, because we are just trying to understand and gain knowledge. You want to share? Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you. A tax is a mandatory levy collected by the government from entities in the country, both the individuals and the corporations.
So he says a tax is a mandatory levy collected by government on entities and individuals. What do others say? What do others say? Uncle B doesn't listen. I'll point at him again. What do others say? There's a hand. Where? Here.
A tax is a compulsory amount that persons have to pay to their authorities for the benefit of the society in which those persons belong.
So our colleague here says it is a compulsory amount that people must pay to the authorities, a compulsory amount. So like I said, all of us, we could have a different understanding. So I will try to summarize for the benefit of everyone so that we can have one understanding from this trip. And so tax is a financial contribution. We have to get that very right, that it is a financial contribution that is levied or charged on individuals' income or business profit. Levied, charged on individuals' income or business. So it's a financial contribution. So what it simply means is that if you are a farmer, for example, and you've produced 3,000 bags of maize, and because you have not yet sold your 3,000 bags of maize, you cannot come to ZRI and say, ZRI, come and collect your 10 bags of maize and realize tax from there. No. Because the definition of tax is that it must be a financial contribution from an individual's income or profits. Financial contribution. Very, very important. Are we on the same page? Yes. We must be on the same page. We must be. I do not want you to come and face these questions in the quiz. You must get the answers now. So that when you fail, you have failed on your own accord, isn't it?
Day one of the Know Your Tax quiz tour accorded to the two schools that have qualified to the final. Day one entails a visit to the Livingstone Port Office where the students will appreciate basically the operations of the authority at that particular space, what it does and what kind of taxes it does administer and superintend over. And basically they'll be able to gather insights on the operations of the authority when it comes to the port office. But also the students are going to gather insights through the questions they're going to be asking the individuals who will be running them through the operations of the authority at the port office. So we're in for a very exciting day one of this educational tour, a special treat accorded to the students who have qualified to the final of this season's grand finale, or the final if you like. Come with me.
We are happy to see you here. You are welcome. In terms of overview of the Livingstone ZRA office, of course it's one of the many offices under ZRA dotted around the country. Okay, this one sometimes is called Port Office, yeah, and it houses all the four divisions. So we have Customs and Excise, or Enforcement Center under Customs and Excise, okay? Someone is supposed to come and tell us the difference between what happens at the border and at an enforcement center. We have Debt Recovery Unit here, okay, that falls under Business Facilitation Division. We also have admin, okay, admin staff that fall under Corporate Services, and of course domestic taxes, where the three of us come from. Livingstone office houses all that, okay, and we do a lot. We do a lot under Livingstone office. If we are to specifically talk about domestic taxes, we monitor taxes through the 3 tax administration pillars. Can anyone talk about one of them? The 3 tax administration pillars? Okay, we have taxpayer services. Are we aware of that? My colleagues will come and talk about that further. We have returns and payments. We also have audits, yeah? And so much happens under these units, okay? So they will come and elaborate further, either through a presentation like this one or an interactive session where we'll be asking you questions. We want to see, you are finalists, so you must be knowing some of these things like the tax administration pillars, okay? Yeah, so in terms of the taxes being administered or the ones that we are monitoring under Livingstone office, We have VAT. Yeah, we also have company tax. Pay as you earn is also another tax type. We also have property transfer tax. But in Zambia currently, property taxes, like property transfer tax, we don't have it on motor vehicles. We only have it on shares and real property like houses. We have withholding taxes. There are many. We can even have 10 people mention them here. Office. Then we also have presumptive taxes. Then we have also rental income tax. We have tourism levy. Yeah, we have insurance premium levy. We have domestic excise duties. We also have customs duties under customs division. So these are the taxes that we administer under Livingstone office. Of course, by extension, the whole ZRA. Okay? I don't want to bore you much. I mentioned earlier that my colleagues are going to further talk about the units, where they come from, what they do, and all that.
So I'm going to run you through what we do, and then maybe afterwards we'll go around to show you how it's done. Yeah, so currently Livingstone has approximately 28,000 taxpayers. That's taxpayers with about 13,000 being turnover tax. So our turnover tax register is quite big, because most of our taxpayers here are small and medium taxpayers. So most of them fall under turnover tax. That explains why our register for turnover tax is quite huge. And then we also have over 600 taxpayers for VAT under the Livingstone office. And then we have approximately 1,200 taxpayers under income tax. So just like the AD mentioned, Livingstone oversees 4 districts, which is Kazungula, Livingstone itself, Kalomo, and Zimba. So Livingstone is well known as a tourist capital. And with that being said, Livingstone office has registered over 200 lodges, guest houses, and hotels in Livingstone alone. So that excludes Zimba, Kazungula, and Kalomo. So that's for Livingstone alone. We have about 200 lodges and hotels. So for the taxpayer services and education unit, we work hand in hand with the Livingstone City Council. We work hand in hand with them to enforce and to collect rental income. And we have managed to register over 900 landlords for rental income.
So I'll be talking about the audit unit and what the audit unit does. So basically, audit does a verification. We check on the declarations that the taxpayers are making. We check on the claims that the taxpayers are making. We check on the payments that the taxpayers are making. So it is one tool that is used to ensure compliance amongst our taxpayers, and one of the key pillars for compliance. For compliance, to ensure that our taxpayers are complying with their obligations and that the returns that they are making are the correct one. For refund claims, we do have taxpayers that find themselves in a refund position. So before those refunds can be paid out, before your hard-earned money or your parents' hard-earned money, you're also taxpayers, by the way. Anytime you go to ShopRite to buy, you're paying something there. So your hard-earned money and my hard-earned money, before we do the refunds, we give the taxpayers that are claiming refunds, we need to verify that that refund is as it should be, and we refund what is due to the taxpayer. Another reason why we conduct audits, there is also what we call educational audits. Yeah? So we have taxpayers that will be migrated and registered for another tax type. For instance, from turnover tax, and once they cross the 800,000 threshold, they'll be registered for what tax type? Okay, income tax is 5 million. Yes, for VAT, yeah, value added tax. So the thresholds previously, the income tax threshold was at 800,000. So once a taxpayer crosses the 800,000 threshold, they would be registered for income tax and VAT. So for VAT, it has still remained at 800,000, but for income tax, it has moved to 8 million. So now we have to 5 million, sorry. So now we have taxpayers that are both on VAT and turnover tax, if they are between 800 and 5 million, yeah? So the two tax regimes are quite different. Turnover tax is more of a simplistic type because we are just dealing with what did you make and we'll tax it at 5%. But when it comes to VAT, it's a bit more complex, yeah? There's input, there's output claims, and the taxpayer pays on the net. So we do conduct what we call educational audits. These are for new registrations. So we'll go to the taxpayer and audit a few months after they have been registered so that we see the claims that they are making as well as advise them if they are doing the correct things, yeah? We nip the problem in the bud before it becomes a big thing, yeah? So we also conduct what we call educational audits. So we covered that, compliance, education, credibility checks to make sure that the refunds that are being paid are due, as well as to ensure that we are collecting the correct taxes. Okay, so we do have a unit called the Tax Business and Policy Support Unit. So these are the ones that are responsible for generation of audit cases. We also identify taxpayers for audit, but we're using the system. We're a data-driven institution, so we have system parameters. So depending on taxpayers that fail some parameters, they will be referred to various stations for audit. So risk assessment is very important, and we have internal and external sources of cases. There are times when we'll get from the Ministry of Finance a list of taxpayers that were paid, and they will be sent to say, okay, we paid these taxpayers this much. Can you verify to ensure that the correct taxes were remitted? And yeah, we also have various data analysis tools. I mentioned e-audits. So one of the ways we are trying to be innovative and use the data that we have on our taxpayers, we have what we call data matching, yeah? So we have a taxpayer that is importing on Ascuda. Our systems have been interfaced together. So I'm in domestic taxes and I'm able to access a taxpayer's import information, yeah? So our tax business policy and support units conduct various data matching exercises. So they'll check the imports that taxpayers are making. This is on a very, very large scale. Check the imports that the taxpayers are making. Are they filing on their VAT, on their TOT, on their income tax? Because if you're going to have 50 million in imports, and then on the domestic taxes side, there's new, it happens. Yeah, so now we have data matching exercises where our systems are able to pick that information and we are able to generate cases.
Let's say you bring in a vehicle and then it's seized and subsequently forfeited. So once it's forfeited, it belongs to the government. Okay, it belongs to the government. It no longer belongs to you. Whether you are the one that bought it to bring it in, it belongs to the government. And so when someone buys it, it's actually ZRA transferring ownership to that particular person, not the other. That person would have fallen off. Yes. Okay. So yeah. So before we even mount roadblocks, there's what is called risk management. We normally do risk assessment of transporters, the taxpayers. So we do have a database where we know those that have offended maybe 2 times, 3 times. And even as we go out there, obviously we have in mind that this particular transporter has offended a couple of times, and it's easier for us to check them. And then also we collect data through obvious intelligence. Yeah, we have to be able to ensure that we have full knowledge about these things. So besides just mounting a checkpoint and you stand there, we normally have a strategic plan on how we do these things.
The setup of this border, unfortunately, this is not a one-stop border post. This is it's a straddling stop border post. Yeah, so what that means is that when you're exiting the country, you have to stop at the Zambian side and then pass through the no man's land, and then you find the Zimbabwean border. But with a one-stop border post, you stop once while you do all the formalities. So meaning when you stop once, you do Zambian immigration, you exit, and then you do immigration entry of another country in the same building. Yes, but with this one, this is the old facility. So we only have the Zambian officials stationed here. Yeah. So when it comes to this border, we have 4 main points where officers are stationed, of which one of them are the boom gates. The boom gates, we have the entry and the exit. So of which that is the exit. Yes. Then we have the entry. Unfortunately, the road is under construction this side, but that's where we have the entry side of it. So we have to have an officer stationed here, then we also have another officer stationed over there. Yes, then the other point we have is the inspection bay, which is the one over there. There's a shed over there, as you can see. Yeah. That is where we do the inspections from. Then inside the office, we have what we call the general office, which is a client service desk as well, where we do the document verification, release orders, and printing of T1s. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe I'm technical, so I'll try to be as simple as I can be. Yes, so now, when
So day 2 of the Livingstone Tour, according to the 2 teams that have qualified to the final of the season's Know Your Tax quiz, we'll see them visit the Kazungulo one-stop border post. They will appreciate how this border post operates and, of course, what makes it unique from the other border posts.
The one-stop border post concept is not something indigenous to Zambia, as you may well be aware. It's a trade facilitation tool. It's a trade facilitation initiative. And just like the name suggests, it means travelers make only one stop for both exit and entry formalities. Traditionally, a border has 2 stops because there are 2 countries, obviously. So you make your first stop in the country of exit to do your exit formalities. Then you go and make your second stop in the country of arrival to do your entry formalities. But the one-stop border post concept gets rid of that 2 stop and brings the 2 functions together. So you make one stop in the country of arrival. So in this case, if you were exiting Zambia, going into Botswana, you would have bypassed this control zone, drove onto the bridge straight, and made one stop in Botswana. So there you would have first done your exit formalities with the Zambian authorities, then thereafter done your entry formalities with the Botswana authorities. Similarly, if you were coming into Zambia, coming from South Africa, coming from Botswana, you would have bypassed the common control zone on the Botswana side and made one stop here, where you would have done first your exit formalities with the Botswana authorities, then thereafter you would have done your entry formalities. So that order is very important because you first need to make exit before making entry into the other country. So obviously the idea is when you have one stop, you reduce also on the dwell time that you spend at the border, both for travelers and for cargo also. So where we are seated right now is the passenger terminal. So here is where we do passenger clearance, okay? So people who are here as visitors, okay, with their private vehicles, those are going to be cleared from here. They are going to get temporary permits that will allow them to visit in Zambia. Similarly, those who've got cargo, you've got our cross-border traders who go and buy goods from Botswana, from South Africa on the bus So those also will come and do their passenger clearance from here. Then on the other side, you'll find also the commercial terminal where we do now our commercial clearance, okay? So those who are bringing in commercial goods, those who are the trucks, okay? The vehicles that are meant for final clearance, those are cleared on the commercial side. The main difference being on the commercial side, you need a clearing agent who's going to represent you, who's going to make a declaration on your behalf. While on the passenger side, it's deemed a self-clearance zone, so we do not allow do not allow clearing agents on this side. The one-stop border post here was launched in May 2021, on the 10th of May 2021. Anybody who had visited Kazungula before that will recall that we used to have the infamous pontoons. You may recall if you used to use this route. So the pontoons obviously had limited efficiency. Okay, the number of trucks that we could clear in a day maximum then could go only up to 80, because with the pontoons you were at the mercy of the weather. Okay, if it's raining, for instance, if there's a storm, then you'd be limited in operating it. But with the one-stop border post being established in May 2021 and the bridge, so that has now done away with the idea of the pontoon. So as you'd imagine, it has increased traffic significantly, okay? From the highs of 80 that we used to have at peak. Normally we have our peak period towards the end. At peak we would clear even over 400 trucks a day.
As you can see, let's just start with the process. So this is the truck that has come in, and these are the number plates. Just verify, is this the actual number plate, which is this, correct? And it's in the truck, parked before the yellow line. It shouldn't be beyond the yellow line. Yes. So this is me verifying, and we've verified. So we send the CICP information to the other computer. So I'm sending, and then now we start the process of scanning. So this is warning, about to scan. So you just alert everyone, and then you scan. So you can see that it's moving from here, and it's also moving from there. So while you're doing that, you can also record the time from the documents. You will see the image from here, you will see it also here.
You mean the image of the things that are inside?
Yes. So I record the time and the date.
Record the time that it started or the time that it is finished?
You just record, and the minutes are different with the time that it started. Yes. So now that it's done scanning, you can see from the end there. So the whole image will show up here. You've seen all this. It's the same image. Then you just cancel and end the scanning.
After all the learning, the students accounted for the local tourist arrivals in Livingstone. From the boat cruise on the mighty Zambezi River, to visiting the mighty Victoria Falls, and sweating it off all the way down to the boiling point. Now, it is without any shadow of doubt that this was a very insightful tour, serving as a revision of the lessons gathered during the quiz. The focus now is the final. And what can I say? May the best team win. And so, until the grand finale, my name is Brian Mulamba. Thanks for watching. Ta-da!